Hello, sweet friends. It's Sarah at Crochet with Coffee, and thank you so much for joining me for another WIP Wednesday. We are making our Persian tile blanket, and we are picking our mystery colors. So let's get started on our mystery picks. If you would like this pattern, it is by Janie Crow. I have all of her links in the description. She has tutorials, she has patterns, she has a website, all the good stuff. So if you want to, what is that? Plastic? I don't know how that got in there. But anyway, a beautiful pattern. If you are interested in making this blanket, check out all of her wonderful resources for that. All right, so let's get started on our picks and let's see what colors we get this week. So tell me all about the projects you are working on this week and let me know what you have going on. I have, if you watched Monday, I am on a super exciting road to new projects, and it's like a whole new world is open. This, if you're interested, I do have this pattern available on my tutorial. This is a V-stitch hexagon sweater. So that tutorial is in the description if you want that. But let's do our picks. We're gonna start with our first 3 colors for our center of our octagon. Let's see what we get. We have toffee, rust. Let me pick again because I picked 2. Chocolate. All right, so toffee, rust, and chocolate. Let me get this section worked up and I'll show you what it's looking like. All right, center is done. I really like those colors and they reminded me of these 2 that we did. Uniquely, it's our corn cob right there and our Yoda right there. I love that you guys said that's hilarious. Cracks me up. Okay, so the center on that one is chocolate, toffee, and cinnamon. This one is, my light is flickering. Can you see that? Hopefully it doesn't do that anymore. And this one is chocolate, cinnamon, and rust. So close. And then this one, the toffee, can't get them all in there. There we go, kind of. Toffee, rust, and chocolate. So similar. All right, let's pick our next 2 colors for the fancy parts. Let's see what we get. We've got our base. Ooh, I don't think we've ever gotten a wine for any of those parts before. Okay, wine. I'm gonna guess ivory. I think ivory would be really pretty with that one. I'm so excited. Oh, that was fun. Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's going to be good. Okay, so wine for the base and then ivory for the top. I'm so excited. Okay. Let's get that started and I will check back in and let you know, and then I will show you what it's looking like. Here we go. That is in the way. Let's see. All right, there. I like it. I think it's nice. I like the 2 of those together. Very cute. All right, so now I'm gonna do the remainder of the colors. So our 3 picks, and that is the 2 surrounding rows here and then one of our fans. So let's see what we get. All right, so the first 2 rows. All right, first row is going to be mustard. The next row is going to be green apple. And then our fan is going to be cinnamon. All right. Let's get that started. we'll do that real quick, and we'll do that real quick. And this is getting easier. Every week it ends up getting easier and it goes faster because I don't need to reference the pattern as frequently. So that's really nice. And like I said at the beginning, what I typically would do is work all the centers, all the second row. So intrusive. She just gets in everything. What you checking? And then I go on from there where I just do all the first row, all the second row, all the third row, and just go on from there. So let me do the next one. We're going to do mustard, green apple, cinnamon. All food colors. All right, I'll be back. I like it. I'm excited to see what color we get for our second fan. And let's see. Okay, so for the colors that are going back in here, the funny thing is we have the cinnamon, that was our last pick, and our green apple. And those are the two colors that we need to keep out for our border. But then on top of that, we typically have to keep out the last two colors that we choose, and those are both the same. So we're only keeping out two colors, only two colors this time instead of the four that we normally would. So uniquely, that's funny. We have our second fan and two colors that we need to pick for the remainder of our octagon. So let's pick that first. We've got second fan is going to be, oh, okay, so we are going to have two orange fans. So we have our cinnamon, and then we're going to have our rust. So then my light keeps flickering. I don't know why. All right, so then we have our first row. It's going to be the wine color. And our second row is going to be ivory. I'm really excited about the two orange fans. This one could end up being a favorite. I don't know. We'll see, because we're going to have another orange fan, the lighter orange fan, and then that is surrounded by red right there. It's those two colors together again. So then it's going to be the red and then the white. That could be cool. All right, so I need to write these down or I will forget. Where's my notebook? I had to grab another one because I don't know where my other notebook went. So we are rust, wine, ivory. All right, so then we have our, oh, I need to check. I don't know if we're doing whole squares or if we're doing partial squares. Let me check real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is our last week of 2 half squares. And then next week we'll be starting our just 1 whole square. All right, so let's see. First square is going to start with chocolate brown, mustard, green, wait a second. Green apple wasn't supposed to go back in there. Sorry, green apple and cinnamon weren't supposed to go back in there. Wine, ivory. Second square, 4 colors. Mustard, toffee, ivory, chocolate. Alrighty. That'll be a nice one. Let's get started on this, and I'll check back in once we have all of our colors done before I put on our borders. So we'll take a look in just a second. Here are the squares, or the half squares so far. I like this one. Cute. All right. So that is what we have for the half squares. And this is the octagon. I really like the white on the outside like that. And then the 2 shades of orange there. So I'm going to add the outside to that. But did you see the little shopper we had in the scrap yarn basket up there? I don't know what she was doing, but actually this is a color that I need for a project that I started on earlier today. So that is good that she pulled that out, because I was going to go for a whole skein. Didn't realize I had one in there. So that lovely pumpkin looking color for another project that I need to do. Let me get the outside of these put on here, and we'll check back in to look at the full thing all put together, and we'll do that. I stopped at Dunkin'. I had some points for a free coffee, and I knew better than to stop at the location that I stopped at, because without fail, 100% of the time, this location gets my order wrong. And I don't even think that it's a mix-up. I think that they just make them wrong every time. My daughter and I have both had the same issue at the same location. It's so strange. I don't know. Do you guys get Dunkin'? Do you have that issue before? And I know of several Dunkins that are that way in my area. It's like 50-50. And I know what ones are what. Do you know your coffee shops like that? Do you know your Dunkins like that? All right, oh, I found my notebook. It was behind my coffee. So now I have 2 notebooks started. My other one. I didn't need this one. I found it over there. All right, I'm rambling. Let me get these on and I'll check back in a second. So we are all done. I have both of my notebooks that I started writing in. So I'm going to have to do something with that. And now let's take a look at what we did. You want to look? Yeah. All right, so we have our square, half square, our other half square. This one's my favorite out of the 2. I like them. And then our octagon. I like how the white has been pulled out to the outside here. I like that these are both orange. The fans are both orange. This one's cute. Almost. And I like that the green is here. This is a good one. I like this one. It was fun. If you had fun with me today, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you'd like to stick around for more yarn related content, you can hit that subscribe button. I post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. They're all different things. They're different than Wednesdays. Mondays are chatting, Wednesdays are WIPs, and Fridays are whatever ends up being. Right now we're doing a crochet along for the next couple weeks. So if you'd like to stick around, hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you find joy in the little things.